If you want to check out 3 looks using the NATASHA DENONA Gold Palette, then please keep on watching. Hey friends, if it's your first time stopping by, thank you so much for clicking. My name is Alicia and KINKYSWEAT stands for my kinky hair and sweat life. I'm a fitness professional who loves things movement and beauty, and here on my channel you'll find hair tutorials, movement, guys, and makeup tutorials. If you're interested in any of that content, please subscribe. I would love to have you more often. Today we're focusing on NATASHA DENONA's Gold Palette. Many of you had asked that I do a 3-look video featuring this palette. I actually have quite a few of Gold Palette videos collectively on my channel. I have a review and I believe 2 look videos, 2 tutorial vids I did using this palette. I wanted to revisit it because my techniques have changed. I want to try some new things with these shades, and I just love doing 3-look videos. They're hard on my eyelids, but they'll be alright. If you are wondering, I do use Bioderma. I think this is perhaps the best solution for quick change between eye looks and just to ensure my eyelid skin does not die. It doesn't burn, and I'm wiping off eyeshadow like 4 times, right? I am very gentle, but I think depending on the solution, it could still burn. Bioderma does not burn on my lids, so that's what I've been using, and it has been the savior for these multi-look videos. I'll have all face product details down below, but the featured face product of the day, because why not just keep it all NATASHA DENONA, is her Tan Bronze and Glow palette. I mainly have the bronzer on as bronzer and blush. I didn't put any highlighter on because of all the switching I'm going to do. So with that said, all lids will be prepped with the Too Faced Born This Way multi-use concealer in the shade Natural Beige. And as you saw in the wider shot, I am back at home. I love Maddie's house. The apartment's beautiful, but the lighting there is crazy. So I'm looking forward to maybe having to deal with minimal light changes here, but not as drastic as the ones I experienced there. Oh my god. I do find that the mattes in this palette tend to grab a little bit. I will set my concealer. I don't usually, but I just want to see the difference it could make possibly in the blending. Taking a little bit of my Milk Makeup Blur and Set Loose powder in the shade Medium. I could use light, but I forgot to bring light with me in the bedroom, so unfortunately we're just gonna have to stick with this shade. And look what I got from Gerard Cosmetics. Thank you, Jen, for the very generous package. This is the first time I have a handheld mirror, you guys. This is so fun. It is very helpful, I gotta say, to hold this and not an actual palette. I'm lightly setting the concealer as I will going forward with the looks, just to kind of see how it will help the mattes kind of blend, yeah? Here it is. What shall we start with first? Let's go with the mustard first. Appropriately named Dijon, in with my Wayne number 16. I'm gonna first pat it down on the crease and see what color payoff we can get from this application. This is the color that I experienced, so see how it's grabbing a little bit? That's why I didn't want to apply this on wet concealer, even if I let it set a little bit, because I felt like it would have grabbed a little bit too much. I'm patting it down first just to get that full color impact, and then once I've distributed the majority of the shadow on the lid, I take the shadow through circular lightweight motions and start to pull it out a little bit. So I think that looks okay. It doesn't look really mustardy though. It kind of just looks like a brown on my skin. So I would say this is perhaps my one disappointing shade in the Gold palette. I wish it appeared a little more mustard when applied on the crease. Now, my issue with this palette is that a lot of these beigey shades look very similar, and it's one of those things where you don't know what the tone is until you apply it on your lids. So I don't know which one I want to go in with next. I think I might save those shades for the next look and go in with this shade here, and that's the shade Log with my Sonia G Crease Pro. Generally, I like to pat down Natasha mattes because I find that they blend themselves and I don't want to over manipulate the shadow. And then I use circular motions to pull it through the crease, and I use the tip of the brush to now pull it out a little bit so we could get that V point. And I'm still patting down here to get the color on first. I'm taking my time to shape this part because look how it appears round. I'm still trying to diffuse the line more so it could appear pointy. And to do that, I'm using very light pressure to manipulate the shadow but not overblend. I have my Wayne number 16 on standby just for a general judge. I think that looks alright. Sonia G, worker 3. Dijon along the lower lash line. Sonia G Crease Pro Log on the outer third. I feel like I applied a little too much, so with that, I brushed my number 16 on a towel to get the shadow off the bristles. So I don't add more. I'm just trying to diffuse what's already on the skin. That's a little better. I haven't decided if I wanted to do a halo eye or a more traditional just outer corner smoke. I think I'll keep it like this. Oh, there's so many beautiful gold shades in this palette. It's so hard to decide. Oh, like these duochrome shades here are just magnificent. Maybe we'll go in with those. Why not? So with that said, I will now apply brass with my Sonia G Builder Pro. These have a lot of chunk to them. In true NATASHA DENONA special shadow texture fashion. I'll wiggle the brush in the pan, and I might have to wet it, or I might have to, on the other eye when I do it off camera, apply concealer first to the lid. Or let's use the finger. A lot more successful when applying this shadow with the finger, as I feel the heat from the skin just better makes the particles adhere and just melt. I am going to experiment with wetting the brush so you can get a little more slide, especially here as I carve around the crease. That's nice. Going in with my finger again and taking advantage of the moisture still on my lid to just press on more pigment so it looks shinier. Wiping on my Builder Pro and going in with Log just to feather the edges here so it can look more gradient. We have a little fallout from brush, so I'm taking my small taper powder brush to wick away those spots. Unfortunately, they did stick a little bit on the face, so what are you gonna do? On the lower inner corner, I do want to go in with Oro. This has a much smoother texture than brass, and I feel just easier to apply overall. Same Builder Pro, now pulling across the inner third, or lower inner third, I should say. All right, friends, do the other eye, slap on some lashes, and I'll be right back. Here's the finished look, friends. On the lashes, we have Ardell Wispies in black. And I forgot to mention, on the inner corner, we put the lightest shade in the palette, which is, hold on, Sparks. And a wider shot of the look, friends. Here on the lips, we have Persona Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Honey. What else would I have on my lips at this point? I absolutely love this look. It's very smoky, and the brass shade, I do find if you don't apply it wet first, you are going to get a lot of fallout on your face. Unfortunately, I have like a lot of brass sparkle on this side of my face, but what are you gonna do? It's pretty, so at least it's that. But I don't have on this face because I applied the brass wet first, and then I went with my finger to pat on more pigment to make sure it's opaque. But this is just a gorgeous shade. I mean, brass, the duochrome effect of that color is just beautiful. And I love like the true yellow gold tone here on the inner third, and the smoke looks gorgeous. The mustard shade, you know, I don't know how I feel about it still. I think I'll have to go to the other looks and kind of see how different it is when you apply it on the eyes. That's a lot better. I was too light, you guys. Because I feel like it sets up the look really nicely, but how different is it from the other beige matte? So let's take this off, check it out, and I'll see you back here in a minute. So just to quickly show you the swatches, this shows up significantly darker than how it appears in pan. So here's that color here at the top. So let's go in with that color and then follow up with this color, which was here at the bottom. Wayne number 16 with Aria. Wait, you're too far. Thank you. The same way I did the last look, I'll punch in the shade first. Like a soft beige, but like on the rosy side. Oh, wait, now you're too close. Hold on. Oh, God. And again, I did set my concealer because I don't want these matte shades to grab and to appear even. It's a very beautiful beige shade. It could possibly be applied on its own, not only the crease but on the lid, and that could be your single look shade. Sonia G Crease Pro now with Teak. See how much depth that brings in. Oh, a little bit. Not as much as Log, but sure, if you build this up, it'll have a little bit of smoke. I'm actually gonna bring this on the inner third for this look. Wayne number 16 for judging. You're getting blurry on me there. What's up with that? Putting on more Teak. I want this to be really to have some depth here. I think I want to take Varus with my finger and just pull that across the lid. This is definitely the creamier shimmer textures in the palette. I mean, this is beyond easy to work with. No fallout from the shade whatsoever. And I think it's a surefire quick way to create like a deep bronzy smoky look. Just fixing the crease here a little bit. Take with my Sony G Crease Pro and the add a third. Oh god. I overloaded my finger, so I got some Varus on my face, but it was easy to whisk away. Way number 16 for some zhuzhin. There we go. Or my Sony G Worker Pro. Right there. Very nice. Now, Kava is like a topper shade. It's like a pressed topper shade. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and just carefully press on Varus just to create some light there. I feel that adds really nice dimension. You don't have to do this step, but if you want to use as many shades in the palette as possible, then this is one way you could utilize Kava. Taking Kava with my pinky and just pressing that on the inner corner. It doesn't have a lot of pigment, so don't rely on this shade to bring color. It's more so to just bring light and reflectivity to whatever shadow you decide to put on your lid first. Alright friends, do the other eye and I'll be right back. Close up of the look, friends. Same lashes, Ardell Wispies in black. And here's a wider shot of the look. And on the lips, I have the same Persona Cosmetics lip gloss in Honey, but then I lined with the Gerard Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Share. I feel it's low key, but it's smoky at the same time. And that's why you have to swatch these shades, because right off the bat, when you see all three of the beige tones in here, you're like, they're a little similar. But Teak obviously has some smoke to it when layered on. This shade, I think Aria we said, was very beige rosy, which I love in a beige. We still haven't tried this. Retrospectively, I would have applied this and maybe Dijon afterwards if I really wanted to layer it up, or maybe this would just be fine on its own as a single eye look shade if you just wanted to use one matte, apply it on your crease, lid, and lower lash line and be done. And I feel that's probably a strength in this palette, because a lot of people don't like a lot of color, even though we're going to dive into the greens in the third look. That if you just want that beige with a little bit of punch, it has a little more body than a typical beige. And NATASHA DENONA mattes definitely have a lot more punch in terms of texture. They're her creamy matte formula. They layer very well. They don't dust away. So if you wanted to build that saturation, you can with this formula. I have to remind myself sometimes, like, which is which, like how is it going to appear on my skin? So I have to swatch it on my arm first and then go in after. Like, I do find this on its own is gorgeous. You could use Log with any of the beige shades to create smoke. At the end of this video, we'll talk about how this compares to Biba if you're deciding between the two. So let's get into the third look. Hello, why are you not focused on me? And I'll see you then. Oh, remnants from the last party. Why not? Let's go in with Sandstone first with my Wayne Goss number 16. Oh no, wait, hold on. So I mistakenly forgot to set my concealer. I was going to, but why don't we see how this fares out? It's for science, as Michelle Wan would say. See what Sandstone does. Oh, what's that on my lid? I still want to pat down mostly first and then bring it through the crease. Also a little in towards the inner third. Swirl it around some. Hello. Why are you blurry? So that's what we're looking at. Not too bad. You can see it darkens a little bit here, but it gives great color though. I would say it's a mix between Aria and what's the other shade called? Teak. But now I want to go in with the green. Now with Python, Wayne Goss number 4. And this is in her cream to matte formula. I think this is the only, maybe not. I think she has a couple in here, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, I just forgot which ones. Let's pat that down first. Ooh. You could be a little more reckless with this formula, because since it is a cream to matte, it's not going to have as much fallout as like her traditional mattes. I'm keeping my eye closed so I could mostly keep this shade like under the crease. That's why I'm pulling down so it doesn't get too high just yet. This was a good setup matte for Python, I feel. You could go in with Python on its own. You could probably have used Dijon, you could probably use Dijon as the setup transition shade as well. Very light pressure, and now I'll start to pull it out. Not bad. We're doing good. I did get fallout from Python because I swirled in the pan and I didn't kick off the excess, so that was totally my fault. Totally my fault. Wayne Goss number 16 on standby just to zhuzh the edges. Kicking off the dust. All right, so let's see what we're gonna put on this lid. I am taking my Hakuhodo J146 with Python because I want to clean up this area here. It is a smaller brush, so I just want to fill it up with some shadow. Much better. Much better. Okay. Aurora with my finger is a very light textured shadow, so I feel it's going to provide more shine rather than actual pigment. So what I'm gonna do, Sonoji Worker Pro with the Magnetic Blood. Let's see what we get from that. Oh, there it is. So if you want to punch up the color, Aurora, you gotta go in it with it wet. That's pretty. And I like the twinkle effect that it has across the crease, so I'm not being super careful about carving it out onto my lid. Like, I like that scattered effect of the shadow. Taking the same Worker Pro brush but with Python, now we're gonna use Lime Chrome, which is sickening. Sonoji Builder Pro, again with the Magnetic Blood. Inner third. This color, I could have applied this on the lid. Look how beautifully lime metallic that is. I freaking love. Wet my brush again because I want that full on color impact, and I'm pulling it across Python a little bit too, just to catch on some of that teal. Isn't that so pretty? Oh my god. Taking Aurum with one of my Hakuhodo pencil brushes on the inner corner. Oh, we got a little messy. It's okay. All right, friends, do the other eye and I'll be right back. Look complete, friends. Same Ardell Wispies in black. And as I'm editing this, I just realized that I did not put, I believe it was Aurora on the other eye. So here's a perfect opportunity to see what the eye look would appear like just with the Python matte shade. Sorry. How you like this green eye? And I just realized I didn't put on any lower lash mascara. Oh. No. Here's a finished look, friends, of course, now with lower lash mascara on, and the same lip combo from the second look, Gerard Cosmetics lip liner and share with the Persona Cosmetics lip gloss and honey. I feel like we need a little more honey. Yeah. Oh, much better. I did get a lot of fallout from Python. You can see here how it kind of ended up on my concealer. I did overload the brush, and I made sure to tap off more often on this eye, and I didn't get as much on this side as I did on my right. Lime Chrome, I think, is my most favorite shade. I mean, the lime metallic duochrome effect is just insane. And can you imagine, is it because I don't have it nearby, putting on Pat McGrath's Fire Opal on top? Too much to take or even think about. You could put Lime Chrome on the lid instead and then pop on Fire Opal. Oh my god. But yeah, this is a very punchy look, very smoky, very bold. You could easily just use Python on the lid, crease, and lower lash line. You don't even have to go in with the metallic shades, or maybe you just use Python for the lower lash line if you just want to play it safe that way. Or even if you like the smoky eyeliner look, you could use Python just to smoke out your upper lash line and wing it out a little bit. And I think that will pair beautifully with any of the beige mattes in here. That's a nice combination as well. Now, I know you guys want to know, Biba or gold? It really depends. I find gold is overwhelmingly neutral cool in terms of these beige shades, and even with the gold metallics in here, I think this is what saves it for it not being exclusively cool, that you have these beautiful bronze and metallic duochromes here on this side, and then you have the pop of the teal and the like metallic blue. It's Biba, I feel, is just more warm, more daily friendly. Like if you put them side by side, you know, like Biba just looks more daily friendly than gold. And gold, I feel, if you need the beige and to be low-key one day you can, but you could pop off right the next with the Python shade. And again, with these duochromes, like brass and lime chrome, they are pretty. Like, they are shiny. And there are not a lot of those shades in Biba. Biba just has rustic, which is like that beautiful deep chocolate bronze. Monroe, which is like the pinky champagne, and Shine, which is like the more gold beige champagne, and then you just have your mattes. However, I do like the mattes in Biba better. I just like the tones of them. I think there's just more variety in Biba in terms of the matte story. There's variety in here as well, but again, I feel Aria, Teak, and Sandstone look very similar. But again, this is a beautiful palette, and it's hard for me to choose between the two because they're so different, and you just have to figure out what your lifestyle is going to call for. If you're even going to remotely come close to these shades and to do this eye look, then maybe consider gold. But if you know you're not going to use Python, then get Biba instead. If you know for sure like just the daily warm friendly looks are just going to be for you. So I hope this video helped if you have the gold palette, if you are figuring out how to use it, how to combine the shades, that this provided some inspiration. Can't even talk about how my earrings match lime chrome and even brass too. If you're deciding between Biba and gold, definitely think about your lifestyle. Think about your color story, which colors resonate best with you, and which ones you know you're going to use the most of. Gold has a special place in my heart because, you know, I mean, look at this. But again, I love Biba too because, like, for instance, Prairie is just such a beautiful, like, I feel that's like a mustardy type of shade that I just die over. I definitely go back and forth between the two, and this is not a make you buy the gold palette video. Again, if you were thinking about buying it and maybe this video convinced you to do so, or maybe it didn't, maybe you didn't like any of the shades or any of the looks and you're like, that's not for me, that could also serve that purpose. If you do have the gold palette, which really this video is for, hopefully again you can better navigate it, come up with some looks, and have some fun with it. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope this video helped, and again, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another makeup tutorial, 3-look video review, hair product review, or maybe a flexibility video that may be coming into you soon. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Ooh, it's hot. Oh my god, oh, so much noise, so much noise. I'm a fitness bronze and gold. Did it? Sewn to G. No, that's not the right one.